at this hour. Chinese President Xi Jinping has just arrived in Abu Dhabi to start his three-day state visit to the United Arab Emirates. His Air China jumbo jet just touched down a few moments ago. These are live pictures there from the welcome ceremony inside the airport in Abu Dhabi. Now, this is the first time a Chinese head of state has visited the UAE in 29 years. It is also the Chinese president's first trip overseas this year and his first state visit since he began his second term. This stop here in Abu Dhabi is the launch of a large trip for the Chinese president. He will continue on to Africa, visiting several countries there, including Senegal, Rwanda, before visiting South Africa for the 10th annual BRICS summit, where we'll be in Johannesburg. And he'll also be meeting with top UAE officials to discuss the Belt and Road Project, energy, agriculture, finance, and scientific research. Joining us here in the studio is our guest, Ms. He Wenping, a research fellow with the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. It's great to have you with us today. Thank you so much. So let's talk about this trip here for the Chinese president visiting UAE. His first trip overseas this year. Why is that?
Well, this highly shows that the UAE is very important in China's diplomatic agenda. We all know since the diplomatic ties has been established between the two countries in 1984, and ever since that, the bilateral relations has been developed in a very smooth way. We also know even during our Wenchuan earthquake time, like in the 2008, and we have received lots of development assistance coming from this country. So Chinese people feel very, thankful for that. And also the UAE is the very first country has forged a diplomatic partnership with China. And we also know when this China's Belt and Road Initiative has been launched, and the UAE also becoming the very first one joined with this initiative.
And let's talk about that relationship, because it's a special relationship between these two countries. As you point out, the UAE was one of the first countries to really embrace the Belt and Road Initiative. Why is that?
Well, I think UAE has also seen the huge potential coming from this Belt and Road Initiative, because that will open a very big, I think, the market for China, linking with all those countries in the Middle East and all the way go to Africa and even goes to the European continent. So UAE has enjoyed a very strategic location in this, juncture, this old Silk Road. Actually, back to the 2,000 years ago, I think UAE has already done that kind of job, linking eastern part and the western part and becoming the trade hub. So I think that's why UAE think this is a very good chance. Also, it's also a good chance for China to be closer with UAE. UAE becoming the first, also the founding member of that AIIB. AIIB stands for the Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank. So this is also a new bank, multilateral bank, serving as the financial engine for pushing all those projects affiliated with One Belt, One Road forward. So UAE has a lot of potential, like for raw material and for all those, we all know those renewable energy development
Which is a huge
potential.
focus for China itself.
Yeah,
and so
right.
we're expecting to see several deals signed here between these two leaders. But I also want to go to our correspondent, Yasser Hakim, who's standing by for us live in Abu Dhabi there. So Yasser, what more can you tell us there?
Yes, the president is on the ground. The presidential plane is in Abu Dhabi, and the top officials are waiting to receive the president, as well as the whole country in particular, because if you're here in the country, you will easily see that there is quite a reception for the Chinese president everywhere in the cities, in the main cities, in the main landmarks. They're lighting the Chinese flag on the major landmarks, such as the renowned Burj Khalifa or Khalifa Tower, and also there's been a China week in the last few days, and there's been cultural activities, Chinese films being screened everywhere. There's been conferences and programs on TV every day, documentaries about President Xi and documentaries about the Silk Road and the relationship between the EU and China. So the whole country is sort of welcoming the president, and I've seen unique features that are not done when other presidents visit UAE. It's been quite exceptional way to welcome the president.
Yeah, literally, Yasser, rolling out the red carpet as we saw briefly in the welcoming ceremony there at the airport. So President Xi also described the UAE as the oasis of development in the Middle East. So talk about that more, and really what are the expectations from this trip? And yes, sir, it looks like we lost.
Well, the expectations here is that, yeah, no, I'm with you now, I can hear you. There's a lot of expectations. You have the economic side and the political side. The economic side, obviously, like you've just been saying, the trade, the Silk Road. The United Arab Emirates is one of the largest trade partners with China in the Middle East, at around $56 billion a year, with an increase of 16% every year. The investments of the Chinese companies here have reached around $9.1 billion, and there are deals to even exceed that number. The tourism has exceeded 1 million tourists last year. For the first time in the United Arab Emirates, we see nearly a million Chinese tourists coming to the United Arab Emirates, and an expat union, a community of around 200 and 250,000 Chinese living here. It's not a small community. So the expectations are high that this will even be stronger relations. There will be more cooperation, more promotion, and more deals to be signed during the president's meetings here in United Arab Emirates, in Abu Dhabi and in Dubai.
It's a big moment for the Chinese president, certainly a big moment also for the United Arab Emirates. Okay, Yasser Hakim live for us there in the UAE. Thank you so much for the update. And we will have complete coverage throughout the day here on CGTN of President Xi Jinping's trip to the UAE. But for now, that's all we have at this hour. Much more ahead in just moments on The World Today. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Jonathan Betts, live in Beijing.